So let's just start with this interview. We'll start off with you just a little introduction to yourself and to the audience.
Sure. Thanks, James. It's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Nima Baiati. I run Lenovo's Cybersecurity Solutions business. We provide end-to-end security solutions for enterprises of all sizes. I'm thrilled to be here this week.
Okay, that's awesome. It's great to hear. So let's just ask a bit more towards data centers with Lenovo's side. So how has AI changed in build of data centers, especially with Lenovo, and what have you guys done differently compared to others?
Sure. So the level of compute is something that's significantly changed. When we see, especially with large language learning models, the proliferation of AI now within the enterprises and organizations, the compute capability and the compute power that's needed is different. And so at Lenovo, we lead when it comes to our R&D capabilities and the innovation that we drive along with our partner ecosystem into all of our endpoint compute devices.
Interesting. I see not a lot of companies are doing that with AI nowadays. What are some of the trends that you've been observing and with respect to the cloud adoption and migration in Thailand and the wider SEA region?
Sure. So ASEAN in itself is a very interesting and compelling region. If we look within ASEAN, by some estimates, this region is supposed to be the fourth largest economy within the next 5 to 6 years, collectively against, obviously the United States, China, India. The level of investment that we're seeing in the region, but also specifically in Thailand, is pretty significant when you look at the investment into cloud infrastructure as well as into data centers. And much of this is being driven by AI use and what is being projected to be the coming train of AI adoption. And so as you look across the myriad verticals in which AI has applications, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in manufacturing, financial services, all of these industries, as they start to adopt more and more AI capabilities, they're going to need that infrastructure, they're going to need that compute power. And so this is where we're seeing a lot of investment, again, particularly in ASEAN around this.
That's great to hear. Are you personally, with your company, are you guys investing into this region?
So at Lenovo, again, one of our core tenets and capabilities is our rich capability and our DNA in R&D. And so we've been investing both in terms of our hardware compute platforms as well as on the software side around AI capabilities. So as an example, we extended a already existent partnership with SentinelOne around endpoint protection and endpoint security, leveraging artificial intelligence around being able to prevent, detect, and remediate against attacks. We're looking at AI in terms of how we can drive better productivity, better personalized experience, and of course, the protection level. And then there is the AI PC. So we've announced the AI PC. We have many more very exciting announcements coming down when it comes down to the AI PC and specifically leveraging NPU capability on the endpoint device.
It's interesting. So as well with the cloud and now you've got hypercloud and supercloud, how do you guys manage that efficiently?
Sure. So again, it's all goes back to use cases, right? So depending on the organization, depending on how they're distributed, what kind of workloads they're running, the use cases should always be driving the implementation, the deployment, how an organization's infrastructure is set up, as well as the types of capabilities and technologies that an organization is leveraging. So whether you're looking at cloud, whether you're looking at AI, it should always go back to the use cases.
That's great to hear. So another one with AI in data centers, how do you manage it to be effective? And are there any past cases that you have?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? And this one is one in which an organization really needs to look at what business that they're in and what is the type of disruption that they're looking to drive in the ecosystem and in their business, but also what are the potential disruptions that can come about in their business. So, for example, when we look at the healthcare segment, right, the healthcare vertical, AI is something that is got tremendous use case applications. Take, for example, being able to do early detection on cancer cells by being able to leverage not just the information that is available locally, but being able to put that all through a model that has data from a myriad of data points. Again, it goes back to the use cases and what that organization's infrastructure looks like today, where they see their business model driving, and of course their risk tolerance.
It's good to hear as well with your with AI in that. So I've got another question with because it is the 21st century now, so sustainability is massive. How do you guys use sustainability with AI in data centers? It can be towards cybersecurity or well, the cloud in general.
Yeah, so Lenovo is committed to sustainable development, sustainable practices, sustainable manufacturing. And so that evidences itself in ways of both in terms of the organizations that we're part of as a company, driving some of these initiatives, the goals that we've committed to as an organization, as well as the type of development that we're doing, whether it comes down to our sustainable packaging. We've completely changed in the sense of just how we package in our logistics process, to our development practices, and to even the types of capabilities that we're building in terms of extending battery life, lower power consumption.
It's great to hear how sustainable you are. The next question would be environmental. How do you help the environment with what you do with sustainability?
Sure, again, it goes back to a lot of the initiatives that we're part of as an organization collectively. I think when we look at things like ESG, it's not just about one organization trying to drive something, but it's about the collective industry across the globe trying to work to set and drive that example, drive those towards those targets. And so from our corporate standpoint, from our perspective, we have a responsibility to ourselves, to our organization, to our employees, and of course to our customers to ensure that we're working in that right direction.
It's good to hear. So it's good when a company just goes towards sustainability and environmental practice. So towards that, do you have any expansion plans or product development plans within the SEA region or even globally?
Sure. So, obviously, Southeast Asia is a very important region to us, right? Again, as I mentioned earlier, ASEAN is an incredibly diverse, both from a cultural standpoint, a language standpoint, an economic standpoint. There's a tremendous amount of talent here as well, right? When you look across countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, the level of development, engineering talent that you have is very, very rich. And so as we look at areas in which, specifically in Southeast Asia, in terms of how we operate, Southeast Asia will continue to remain a very important market and region for us. In terms of product development, we continue to innovate, right? So as I said earlier, R&D is one of the core cultural DNA aspects of us as an organization. And so product innovation, product development remains our North Star when it comes to driving innovation, especially in the AI age.
That's great to hear. So with innovation, do you see where Lenovo would be in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so, from our perspective, again, if I were to boil it down to kind of 3 key bullet points, so to speak, around how we're looking at it, especially for the enterprise, it's around driving productivity with AI, personalized experience, and protection. And so these are the things that we're coalescing around to be able to have the right solutions, the right capabilities, and putting our R&D efforts behind those.
Okay, it's great to hear. So we'll wrap it now. We just want to get your take and your experiences with W.Media events, our Thailand show, or even our past shows.
Sure. No. So it's great to be here with you guys. I'm really looking forward to meaningful conversations and discussions with all the attendees, and it's a very well orchestrated and very well organized.
That's awesome. Nice to have you here with us, Nima.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.